A story on India Upfront right at top. Viewers, during the course of his annual Vijaya Dashami address, RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat sounded a surprisingly unambiguous alarm, flagging an existential threat to Sanatan dharma. Bhagwat feels that a number of obstacles are hindering Sanatan dharma. Bhagwat said that the main threat is posed by those forces who are inimical to Bharat's unity and progress. Bhagwat accused them of spreading fake narratives, encouraging anarchy, engaging in criminal acts, fomenting terror, social conflict and unrest. Bhagwat said that this fake narrative was spreading disaffection, especially among vulnerable minorities. The idea, he said, was to force them into thinking that the RSS was a dangerous organization. He said that the Sangh has always stood on the side of brotherhood, amity, and fraternity. But he also appealed to the minority community to do some heavy lifting along with the RSS. He called upon the minority community to stand up in greater numbers to these sources of disinformation. In his first direct reference to the barbarous decapitation of a tailor in Udaipur at the hands of the Sartan Se Juda mob, Bhagwat expressed his disappointment that the overwhelming majority of Muslims and others in larger society didn't condemn this act. Instead, only a few select voices from the Muslim community stood up to the Islamists and spreaders of disaffection. Viewers, first listen to Mohan Bhagwat today. Listen to some very important words that he has actually spelt out. Listen to this.
दूसरे प्रकार की जो बाधा है, सनातन मूल्यों का क्षरण न हो, ये देखकर चलते समय और भी एक बाधा है, वो बाहर से आती, जो भारतवर्ष की प्रगति को होने नहीं देना चाहते। उसलिए भारतवर्ष के समाज में किसी प्रकार का सद्भाव, सामंजस्य जो नहीं चाहते, जिनके स्वार्थों को मार मिलेगी ऐसा उनको डर लगता है, ऐसा होने से वो सारी शक्तियां बाधा उत्पन्न करती है। उधर उदयपुर में, इधर अमरावती में और भी जगह बहुत जघन्य क्रूरता वाली घटनाएं हुई। मुस्लिमों के भी कुछ प्रमुख लोगों ने इसका विरोध किया, उसको गैर इस्लामिक बताया। अन्याय, असत्य, अत्याचार, आतंक के खिलाफ ऐसे ही खड़ा होना चाहिए, ये अपवाद न रहे। हिंदू समाज में ये मुखरता है, ऐसी घटनाएं घटती है तो कोई हिंदू भी आरोपित है, उसका भी निषेध करते, उसके खिलाफ बोलते। हम विश्व में सर्वत्र और सबके साथ भाईचारा, भद्रता और शांति के पक्ष में हैं, सदा रहे। लेकिन लोग डराते, अरे इस संघ वाले मारेंगे, और ये हिंदू संगठन होगा ना तो सबको बाहर जाना पड़ेगा, ये हवा फैलाते हैं। ऐसा कुछ डर मन में है, और है इसलिए उसका निराकरण करने की इच्छा मन में लेकर तथाकथित अल्पसंख्यक समाज के कुछ बंधु पिछले वर्षों में हमसे मिलते रहे हैं, और हम भी मिले हैं, हमारे प्रमुख अधिकारी उनसे मिले हैं।
Viewers, BJP leader and former Rajya Sabha member of Parliament Subramanian Swamy welcomed Bhagwat's speech, calling out the forces inimical to nation's unity. Listen in to Dr. Swamy.
I 100% endorse it. I mean, what is it that we are saying? That for 1,000 years we were suppressed. The Hindus were suppressed. The Muslims first suppressed us, and then the British suppressed us to their Christianity. And now we want a renaissance in our religion. All these caste divisions and all, they are not based on birth. You have to just read the Gita to know that Varna is not based on birth. So we want a renaissance in Hinduism. And you go on making everything as fascism, as Hitlerism, so on and so forth. I think he's absolutely right.
The opposition, viewers, however, wasn't impressed and called Bhagwat's call for unity and his entire thesis a basic pretext to play the Hindu victimhood card. He said that at least large number of opposition voices said that Mr. Bhagwat needs to introspect because some of those organizations allied very closely to the Sangh are actually responsible for the poison, for the disinformation, for the fake narratives that are actually dividing this country. Listen in, viewers.
Mahan Bhagavat always give lecture, many lectures, but those are not implemented on the ground. Only abusing minority, it is the source of RSS origin. All civilized people should live together. But RSS is trying to divide the people in the name of religion and caste.
Well, I hope that includes many of his own affiliates. Because saying is one thing, doing is something else. It's very easy to preach, but we all very well know that when the ban on PFI was done, we welcomed it. But there are so many organizations which are very, very close to Mr. Mohan Bhagwat's Sangh Parivar, which is also acting in a way which is inimical to India's unity. What is he going to do about that? He should specify, no? And he should instruct the government, because the government also listens to what he says. So he should instruct the government to take action against those people who are very close to Sangh Parivar, like the Hindu Jagran Vedike, the Bajrang Dal. All of them, what are they up to?
Viewers, let's open this up, because the questions, the concerns that are being flagged by Mr. Bhagwat represent what many people believe today is a creeping attempt to criminalize and discredit the Hindu faith, Hindutva in general. Let's open this up and ask some fundamental questions as to whether those that are denying this are actually enabling this propaganda. I want to first begin with Sanjay Jha, who is a Congress leader. Mr. Jha, what do you make today of Mr. Bhagwat's commentary? He refers for the first time to Udaipur. He says that it was disappointing that very few minorities actually came out and condemned what was really the act of Islamists, and that most Muslims do not even subscribe to this sort of retaliatory, revanchist punishment.
Rahul, first and foremost, the very fact that we're discussing the head of a cultural NGO setting their narrative in this country itself is a manifestation of which way the downward spiral of India is taking it. One thing is very apparent, and Pico and I do many conversations together in the evening on Times Now, a very popular channel. I can tell you this for a fact, that this is the real exhibition of the family that runs this government. I mean, now we know who holds the remote control and who is a puppet on a string. So the BJP eventually is nothing but a puppet on a string manipulated by Nagpur. And frankly speaking, why don't the RSS and the BJP make Nagpur the capital of India, at least until they are in government? So let's cut out these pretensions and pussyfooting around. The ideological, what I call is the ideological gurus of the BJP is the RSS. But we also know RSS is now telling us how we should be governed as a country. Now, let me answer your question. I do believe that everyone, however, has a fundamental right to comment on which way India is headed. I do admit that whatever happened with the decapitation and all the ugly communal temperature in this country has to be strongly condemned, whoever it may be. But I want to ask this question of some very eminent people from the Sangh Parivar on your panel, many of them whom I have debated with. How have they been responding to the very brazen hate or the communal sectarian politics of the BJP since 2014? Look at the data on lynching murders, Rahul. Until they happened in India since 2014, I thought I was only going to read about them when I read Mississippi Burning, or when you talked about the civil rights movement in America, when they were at the Ku Klux Klan was in operation. But here, lynching, murders happened. And did Mr. Bhagwat condemn it? Did the BJP condemn it? Did the Prime Minister say anything? Not at all. And we had not one, but several of them. I agree that there were victims from different communities as well. But the majority victims were always the minority Muslims. And that, to me, is the biggest hypocrisy of the RSS and the BJP. Now, a couple of days ago on your show, we were debating, Rahul, where Mr. Bhagwat apparently made an outreach to some, members of the Muslim community. Very good initiative. At the same time, you can see what is happening in Garba festivals in Gujarat. You can see what's happening in Madhya Pradesh. There is a deliberate, almost a planned, orchestrated way to mock India's diversity. We have all grown up, I think so have you, where we enjoyed these religious congregations, where each of us enjoyed the other's festivals, and we came together, celebrated India's oneness, the secular diversity, the syncretic culture. Now you talk about people having
so you think it's an eyewash
cards. What they coming here for? Love jihad. I mean, what is the BJP and the RSS think that to this country?
Okay. So expansive opening statement by Sanjay Jha. He can't accuse anyone today of saying that we didn't give him space. Now he says that it's strange that a socio-cultural NGO today, the head of that, we are discussing his words, which tells you who really controls the levers of power, etc., etc. This is quite rich coming from the Congress party that quotes NGOs like Oxfam and Amnesty day after day to basically paint a dire picture of India in every which way. It's also specifically rich of the Congress, who actually has not only at different times allied with, but also osmotically taken in the cadre of offhand, fly-by-night, fact-checking websites, urban naxals, etc. No one will be under the illusion, viewers, that the Congress party, and I'm just giving you some facts because we are trying to expose the false equivalence that is being drawn. Several times the Congress in the recent few days, viewers, has been saying that the crackdown on the PFI, for example, I'm not talking about after the ban was announced, I'm talking in the lead up to the ban. How many times the Congress party came out and said that any such crackdown is actually an assault on civil liberties? And what were we talking about? The PFI, which defines itself as a socio-cultural NGO. So the Congress picks up the socio-cultural NGOs it thinks will actually strengthen their argument, Rahul, and picks up facts from there. I'm only saying, sir, the facts here. I'm only saying the facts.
The PFI ban, Rahul.
No. I'm talking. You didn't hear me.
What about the
you didn't hear me, Sanjay Jha. You didn't hear me. Please, you didn't hear me. I was talking. Okay, don't please talk. I mean, listen to what I'm saying. I made a very pointed. Excuse me, sir. I'm coming to that point. I did say that before the PFI was banned, before, not after. So please pay attention to what I'm saying. The Congress changed its tune in the lead up to when they realized the ban was imminent and right after. Before that, forget about championing the PFI's most divisive agenda items. You even had in Karnataka moments when you shared the stage with the SDPI and the PFI. They're one and the same thing. The Election Commission will also take action against the SDPI. So let's not try to today obfuscate. I'm only drawing an apples to apples comparison since you brought it up to expose the duplicity here. But nonetheless, on the larger point that Sanjay Jha made, that look, there is an element of double standards that the various organizations affiliated to, etc., of the RSS, they are the ones indulging in dividing this country. Prime Minister and Mohan Bhagwat and have never spoken up, this, that, the other. The Prime Minister has spoken up several times, viewers, and I have instances which I can bring out here right now. First of all, let me quickly bring this to your attention, viewers, that there were at least, in January 2019, Modi condemned Gaurakshak lynchings. In July 2017, he said, I have asked states to take strict action against those violating law in the name of cow protection. It should not be given political color or communal color. The nation doesn't benefit from it. And he went on. But viewers, there were several instances, since the facts are being asked of me right now by Sanjay Jha, I just want to put them out to you. And let's quickly go over this. When the Karnataka government acknowledged under Siddaramaiah that there was no proposal to ban the PFI, this is January 14, 2018, very clearly saying that there is no proposal and neither do we intend to. Not just the Congress, Chidambaram had condemned the arrest of 5 individuals in the Bhima Koregaon case. In 2018, the 5 arrested were social activists and intellectuals. The arrests were also made to instill fear in those speaking against the BJP government. When Congress tried to draw a false equivalence between the PFI and RSS following the ban on the PFI, what Mr. Surjewala said, the belated action of the PFI ban is a step in the right direction after prolonged vacillation. When will BJP government act against the other side of the same coin? Organization close to BJP-RSS, communalism and hate in all forms is harmful to societal fabric and must be curbed. So even after the ban, viewers, there was an attempt to draw a false equivalence. I'm just setting the record straight on facts. Now let's get Ratan Sharda and Rakesh Sinha and Syed Rizwan Ahmed on this. Mr. Rakesh Sinha, Member of Parliament and Rajya Sabha, how do you respond to Sanjay Jha, who says stop playing aggressively the Hindu victimhood card?
In fact, Congress fails to understand what Bhagwat said. In fact, Congress stressed to the political society is in offing. Every time Congress takes the stand which goes against the social and cultural realities of the country. Mohan Bhagwat ji spoke something which is like a statesmanship. I am giving 3 important points from his speeches. One, he said that diversity is the essence of India. This diversity constitutes the oneness of the nation, that one nation, one people. That's why he said that the mode of worship and the food habits or the value of life may be different in different parts of the country depending on the context and the geography. But our cultural unity remains the same. He went to the extent that even the colonial rule was there, even the other rules were there, different state powers and different political powers were, but India remained the same. So changing process. Second important thing is said that orthodoxy cannot rule the society. We have to come out the orthodoxy, and he emphasized, even he quoted the feminist of the feminist movement all over the world, and he said that India's women power must be empowered in a perfect manner in the public spaces. This is coming from the RSS and appeal. Third important thing is that about the mother tongues, that he said that Indian languages should be promoted and we should not indulge in duplicity and hypocrisy, that we should appeal for the Indian languages and we should not follow. But the important dialogue coming from his speech is that there may be 2 different communities, Hindus and Muslims, but certain elements in the society, for their own political selfishness, trying to create a gulf between the Hindus and Muslims by constituting a conspiratorial theory that RSS constitutes a threat for the minorities. Here RSS takes the moral responsibility for a dialogue. And he said this is not a new thing. He quoted RSS second chief Golwalkar Sri Guruji. He had dialogue with Jilani, and since then there has been a consistent dialogue with the Muslims. But there is a need for perestroika and glasnost among the minorities. They are not coming out. Very few of them are coming out for a dialogue. They must feel that the basis of India is cultural unity. They may have different mode of worship, but the culture, ancestor, civilization and history are the same. Here, Congress party fails to understand that the unity of India does not depend on politics. Moreover, what offends the Sanjay Jha and the Congress party, because Congress party wants that the gulf between the Hindus and Muslims will create a vote bank for them. And Rahul Gandhi, who has been in the southern state, when PFI had been consistently attacking the majority community, the Congress remained silent. T.J. Joseph's hands were chopped off. There was no reaction from the Congress party. Therefore, I consider that Congress opinion on Mohan Bhagwat's speech is most ridiculous.
Well, let me tell you, Sanjay Jha, to add to what Mr. Rakesh Sinha is saying, very quickly let me remind you, UPA Minority Affairs Minister K. Rahman Khan had said in 2013 that the Indian Mujahideen does not even exist. He was asked whether he believes so. He said it doesn't exist. Unlike other organizations, the Muslim community is not buying its existence in the country. As far as I am concerned, nobody knows what it is, where it was formed, how it was formed, and who runs it. So let's not speak about the Congress's unfortunate track record of emboldening Islamists. We've also had a former Congress Prime Minister holding a one-hour meeting with the person who took direct responsibility and admitted to the Kashmiri Hindu genocide. You have Rahul Gandhi on his Bharat Jodo Yatra go and meet a pastor. I'm sure Sanjay Jha must have read the views of that pastor, and I'm sure you will not come out there and say that that pastor should have been mainstreamed in the manner he was. You will also remember that Rahul Gandhi held or walked with an individual who, in fact, very recently in Kerala was the face of another attack on members of the majority community.
A quick response, Rahul. A very quick response. I am not going to deny that any political party and the Congress is guilty of having made mistakes in the past. But what you're witnessing
guilty of making mistakes in the past, you're still making them.
Open call. No, under Mr. Modi, you have had religious gatherings where there have been open.
But people have been punished, sir. People have been punished. Yati Narsinganand was punished. He was arrested. He's out on bail because the court put him out on bail. But he was arrested.
Well, let me tell you, there has been an open hate campaign.
No, hang on. You can't. How are you linking it? Let me bring in Syed Rizwan Ahmed. Okay, let's. He's a Muslim, a bona fide Muslim. The RSS also has viewers. The Muslim Rashtra Manch, 5 prominent Muslims. In fact, one of cousins of Syed Rizwan Ahmed has met Mohan Bhagwat just a few days back. You have had Pranab Mukherjee, Ratan Tata, some of the greatest icons of this country go to the RSS headquarters. In fact, Pranab Mukherjee, a doyen of the Congress party, a person that Sonia Gandhi entrusted with the leadership of several GOMs, more than 100 GOMs, viewers, stood on the RSS platform and praised the founder, Mr. Hegrewal of the RSS, calling an ideal son of the soil. So I really don't know if these are socio-cultural NGOs of no significance. Why is Ratan Tata, why are Pranab Mukherjee, when he was president, gracing their platform? Are they absolutely individuals?
Inspiring the RSS to behave like Indians.
No, what?
Okay,
let me bring in Syed Rizwan Ahmed, standing with a pastor who advocates the breakup of this country, or another individual who actually has gone and spread hate speech, is certainly not an act of anyone in love with their country. Let me tell you. I'm not here pronouncing judgment, etc. I'm just saying, if you want to deny it, you can. If Rahman Khan, your Minority Affairs Minister, says there is no I am in this country, well, sir, that is his call, and perhaps the public has answered it by keeping you out of power for all these many years. I don't know. But let me just bring in Syed Rizwan Ahmed. Syed Rizwan Ahmed, what do you make of this constant sort of character assassination of the Hindu community that is going on?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. In the initial comment, our respected panelist, Mr. Jha, talked about an NGO, and you picked up those words, socio-cultural NGO, and you quoted a couple of NGOs, but you missed out on All India Personal Law Board. The Congress Party, All India Personal Law Board, being an NGO, it drafts the minority Muslim policies for the government, for the Congress, from the times of Shah Bano to Saira Bano. The Congress Party feels that whatever All India Personal Law Board and NGO says, that is the last word for Indian Muslims. So before pointing fingers at RSS being an NGO, they should feel what legitimacy they have given to All India Personal Law Board and Indian politics, number one. Number two, the tweet of Mr. Bhagwat, what I read into it, Rahul, it is a very carefully worded tweet. The first part mentions Sanatan Dharma, and the second part immediately mentions Baharat, inimical to Bharat unity. Conspicuously, both words have been used together in one tweet, and that is true also. Mr. Bhagwat wants to communicate that the unity of Bharat comes through Sanatan Dharma, and both complement each other and both are synonym to each other, which is absolutely true. Now the truth is, there are three categories of people. There is an esteemed panel. I'll finish my submission. The first category are the people who can go to any length to dismantle Johnson, Narendra Modi, and to the extent of dismantling India, they can go up to dismantling Modi. If you tell them that by dismantling India, you can dismantle Johnson, they won't shy off. These are the people whom I saw happy when the country was short of oxygen. These are the people whom I saw happy when from the banks of Ganga bodies were recovered. Believe me, I saw them happy. And these are the people who make fun of a small thing, a small initiative of cheetahs coming to India, and they will be more happy, God forbid, if something happens and we lose a couple of cheetahs. They have stooped so low. The second are the people, one of them is your panelist, who give this mindset a cover fire. They patronize them, they nurture them for their political needs. These are the politically secular people of the country. Last but not the least, seeing these two people dismantling the idea of Bharat, there is a reaction syndrome in a section of majority community. And these people wait for that reaction to come, and the moment that reaction comes, they start their chest beating that the constitution is in danger and democracy of this country is in danger.
Well, Tehseen Poonawalla, let me ask you a small question. I'm taking off from where Mr. Sanjay Jha ended, and it's important because it appears that the entire onus of keeping the peace has been placed at the doorstep of the Hindu community, and all the time, all the while, a free pass is given to those who bait the community. There are a couple of questions, and please do answer the questions today, Mr. Poonawalla. Don't talk around the questions.
But don't interrupt me.
Yeah, I don't interrupt you. I only interrupt you when you start haranguing the viewer with long monologues but never get to the point. So, you know, it's a waste of time. Now, you can either do
I'm
that.
inspired by you.
Yeah, okay. Well,
let's go shortly.
Fair enough. I didn't attack you, sir. I didn't attack you. You attacked me. But it's okay. It's fine.
No,
it goes down. It goes down in the black book. It's fine. No problems. I am magnanimous enough to still invite you back. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
I hope you can reciprocate that at some point.
I do.
Rizal Makutti slaughtered the cow. Rahul Gandhi called the act shameful and barbaric 5 years ago. That same Rahul Gandhi is then seen walking with Rizal Makutti. I just want to ask you, why would you give a platform to a leader or an individual? And a leader you did in Uttar Pradesh, a cleric that Priyanka Gandhi Vadra shared a stage with, promoted, and we all know what he said. I can recount those words. But coming back to the point, which governments in the very beginning brought in the cow slaughter, anti-cow slaughter legislations? Were they Congress governments? And if so, why did they bring them in? Because obviously they knew that the cow is revered by the Hindu community. So then why would you go out of your way to give a platform to people like Rizil Makutti? What is hope to be gained? A person that Rahul Gandhi called barbarous, his actions shameful. What brought them back together? If not, some sort of antipathy for Hindus in general. I just want to understand this. If you can answer this question directly, it's great. If you can't, I'll understand. I understand the compulsions.
No, I will answer that question, but I actually am stunned that, you reduce while the others will speak on macro issues, and I want to speak on macro issues. It's always boxed down to a micro issue, and then you have to answer that, and then we cannot have a larger discussion that we want to. So if I may please be allowed to speak at the onset, happy Dussehra to you, to all your viewers, and to all my fellow panelists. I'll specifically answer your question, but I'd rather speak on a macro issue. Millions of people are joining Bharat Jodo. Some may not be desired, they come, they join in. There is no vetting in a public walk where people come, shake hands, and they go. By the same logic, I can answer, why was Sri Narendra Modi ji entertaining Mehul Bhai Choksi with his own mouth in his house when there were warrants against Mehul Bhai Choksi, or Nirav Modi had escaped to Davos and was clicking pictures with the Prime Minister? See, in public gatherings or the Prime Minister's house, if that is excusable, then this is excusable. And I don't hold a brief for Rahul Gandhi. Yes, he should be more alert. But we are reducing this debate to somebody walking in a yatra.
No, we are not reducing it, sir.
Hand. I want to speak on a macro
Maulana
issue,
Taqi Raza. No, let's talk about Maulana Taqi Raza. Fine. This happened by chance. Happenstance that this man walked. 1 second. Happenstance that Rizil Makutti was walking stride in stride with Rahul Gandhi. Fine, I can understand in a public gathering, even though they are two very singular individuals, viewers. If you see those pictures, you will understand, and I'm going to put those pictures up. You can have a reference on them. But Maulana Taqi Raza, who runs some small-time political party, and Syed Rizwan Ahmed will be able to tell us a little bit more about it. He said, I see anger in the eyes of my youth, and I'm afraid that one day this anger will burst out. I'm afraid that the day I lose control over them, what will happen? My youth is telling me, you're getting older, you cannot do anything, but I want to tell them that I will die before them. I want to tell my Hindu brothers that I'm afraid that one day when my youth take the law into their hands, you won't find any place to hide in India. And this was before he decided to back the Congress in the 2022 election in Uttar Pradesh. And then there is a very public sharing of the platform with this gentleman and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. The pictures, viewers, are there on your screens for you to see. This is not some chance gate crasher. Neither did Priyanka Gandhi Vadra gate crash this event, and neither did he gate crash Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's inner circle. Then, viewers, in West Bengal, there is an organization called the ISF, run by a cleric, Furfura Sharif cleric, who spewed the most vile anti-Hindu invective that you can ever hear. I don't even want to replay it, but those pictures will also be brought up. The left aligned with this sectarian mobster, viewers. And next to him stood the Congress. Next to them stood the Congress. And I remember what Sanjay Jha said on that debate when I brought that to his attention. All that time ago, a year, possibly more than a year ago, he said that was not right. I can replay that soundbite.
I stand by it.
You stand by it. So then I'm just asking, Tehseen Poonawala doesn't want to answer these questions. He doesn't want to get into the particularities because they become extremely uncomfortable.
I do. I want to answer them. Both Sanjay and I, and Sanjay, pardon me, I'm going to speak to you, are of the opinion that the Congress needs to be a centrist party. And both Sanjay and I don't shy away from criticizing what is wrong. The problem, I'll tell you where it is, Rahul, and now please hear me out, because it is a very auspicious day. Yeah, sure. I think that these people, whether the people in West Bengal or the person in Uttar Pradesh, add no value and are not representatives of Muslims. I'm saying this openly with my mother, a practicing Muslim. They are not representatives of Muslims. They must not be talking for Muslims, as the previous state spokesperson rightly said about the Muslim Personal Law Board. They have no space. But why does the RSS appropriate itself to being a spokesperson for Hindus, which my wife is, which Sanjay is, and we don't, and they don't agree on the RSS? Mahatma Gandhi said about the RSS, please don't interrupt me now, that they have blood on their hands. Rajendra Prasad ji said about the RSS on 12th December 1948 in a letter to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel in 5th. I'll tell you. You can object, sir.
1 minute. Let him finish.
Mahatma Gandhi never said so. Mahatma Gandhi never said so.
You may object, sir.
One second, gentlemen, please.
Source of information, Mr. Poonawalla.
On 12th
Rajendra
December,
Prasad always supported RSS. Rajendra Prasad
I cannot participate in the Honorable MP does not allow me to put my point of view across.
Gentlemen, please.
On 12th December,
30 seconds, please. 30 seconds. Okay, 1 second. I want to bring in Ratan Sharda on this point. 1 second. Ratan Sharda, who has written several books also on the RSS. 1 minute. Let me bring him in. Gentlemen, don't shout over each other. Please give me 30 seconds. Let me restore some calm. I'm running out of time also. Please.
I want this one line. Let your viewers know it. It's just one line. On 12th December 1948.
It is a contentious fact. It is being opposed to by an RSS member of the RSS, Rakesh Sinha, also a member of parliament. I want to now bring in a person who has studied the RSS his entire life. Let me go across to Mr. Ratan Sharda. He has no opinion in this matter. He has no political lenience. No, 1 second. He has no political leaning. Please.
He's absolutely pro-RSS.
Okay, 1 second. I'm going to pull down everyone's faders. This is not right. Let him come in. 1 second. Please. Gentlemen, please. Yeah, Mr. Ratan Sharda, what do you make of this constant antipathy towards the RSS when you have top leaders, Muslim leaders, top Muslim personalities, top Congress personalities, the presidents of our country visiting the RSS, speaking to the RSS, engaging the RSS? Why is this antipathy constantly there? Is it because the RSS is some variant of some Ku Klux Klan, as the Congress says, or some Muslim Brotherhood, as Rahul Gandhi has said?
Well, Rahul, today is also the birth date of RSS. It's an important landmark. So, and happy Vijaya Dashami to all. Now, coming to your point of view, since you brought in Rajendra Prasad, I'll just close that point first. Rajendra Prasad was very highly ill-treated because he attended the Somnath temple's inauguration. We know that very well. And many people were also ill-treated because of that by Pandit Nehru. But let me come to more serious issue. The more serious issue is that Sanjay Jha, going back to the old genetics of Nehru family, who hated RSS because RSS was becoming very popular and very strong. So from 1947 itself, there was a very strong urge to crush RSS from Nehru onwards. They failed. They banned RSS thrice. Every time the courts removed the ban, and that means the ban were illegal, and they could not do anything about it. Now, more serious issues when he calls why RSS being called. It is the same political apartheid which was implemented by RSS and left for years together. You will remember when camera used to go to any disaster site, as soon as they saw RSS half pant, they would remove the camera from the site. It has happened regularly. As a child, as a young man, I have seen all through in every good work that RSS did. He talks about what kind of support we give. We can forget about the cow slaughter guy, but we can remember Tukde person, Mr. Kanhaiya Lal, now very important member of the Congress party. Sanjay Jha talked about lynching, but he is very selective. 3 years back, I had a data where there are 22 cow protectors killed, which included women, which included policemen, which included even Muslims. There is no talk of that. Last year, it said 20 Hindu activists are killed by the same jihadi mindset people, and in fact the number from 2014 comes to around 150. But never has any Congress person had any sympathy for that. Now coming to why the narrative is going the way it is, so let us come to that narrative. From 2014, the narrative started by the church attack on church, which was found to be fake. Before that, there was talk of nun rape, which was found to be fake. There was talk about RSS ki sazish. Mr. Jha stays in Mumbai. He knows the book was released by one of his prominent friends. There was no regret. There was no sorry for that. There was a fake story about their own people saying their own government hanged the person wrongly. Now coming to other issues. So why was CA opposed? It had nothing to do with India. Can you please put your finger down, please? I am still speaking. Don't disturb. Keep your finger down.
Finger disturbing you. I'm asking the angle.
Yes, because it seems you want to interrupt. That is the reason.
It's okay. He's not interrupting. It's okay. Ratan Sharda, please continue. Please continue.
CAA was opposed. Wrong narrative was created.
Of the RSS.
Wrong narrative was created. Shaheen Bagh was created. Riots were created in Delhi. Then 370 was opposed as if it was against the Muslims. But no congressman ever admitted that 370 resulted in injustice to 1 million Hindus and Sikhs who walked into India from Pakistan, while 2 other people who walked from the same district to Mumbai to Delhi became the prime ministers. And these people suffered 70 years. They did not ever regret the loss of power to women, to Dalits, to Gorkhas, to transgenders. None of them in all the 70 years. Triple Talaq was treated as a communal bill. It is the biggest reform for the feminism, for the equal rights. Labor code is opposed. Disinvestment of the opposed. Vaccine was made fun of. If this is not negative narrative creating, what is?
Yes.
So when RSS chief meets Muslims, there is a problem. When RSS chief gives lecture to Muslims, there is a problem because they do not want Hindu and Muslims to still together.
Okay, is that the issue? Mohammad Zishan, political analyst who's sympathetic to the TMC point of view on the debate also. Mr. Zishan, a small question to you, and this is a question that you must answer. You must answer. There are members of the TMC, for example, members of parliament, who refer to Hindus as Chotiwala Rakshasas. Do you believe, sir, that when you label the members of a community in this manner, you are enabling the forces of hate to target them? Simple question. First, do you approve of this? Chotiwala Rakshasas.
Mr. Rahul, these statements are not approved by me. Not approved by me. And this is also not the stand of Trinamool Congress Party. If someone has said this, it is their responsibility to come and defend or to come and answer about this question. It's not mine. And secondly,
but they've gone unpunished in the TMC.
The problem is not with RSS.
But they've gone unpunished in the TMC, sir. They've gone unpunished in the TMC. All I'm saying is there is a enabling culture.
I'm sitting here.
There is an enabling culture.
As a political analyst.
What action the party taken? What action TMC has taken against the gentleman?
What action the party will take or what action the party has taken, the party will answer.
He belongs to your party.
I'm saying one thing, let's stick on to the topic.
No, you are damaging the Hindu community.
1 minute,
you are attacking the sentiment of the Hindu community.
The problem is, you have to allow me to say something.
We are debating on
you have to allow me to say something.
Okay, let him finish.
Please stop politicizing religion. Please stop.
Who is politicizing? Calling somebody a Chotiwala Rakshas.
This is the main problem with
Who is
RSS.
politicizing?
This is the main problem with
no, one second. If you call somebody a Chotiwala Rakshas and several other epithets, who is politicizing religion?
I have a question.
When you say that Jai Shri Ram is a weaponized war cry, who is politicizing religion?
The Bengali sentiments do not
No, I'm asking you.
any statement which hurts the religious sentiments of any community.
Mr. Muhammad Zishan, if you don't support this statement, which you said you do not support, then I want to ask you, why is this person still a member of parliament from the TMC? It's a simple question. This is a dog whistle. This is dog whistle to demonize Hindus.
Examples, Rahul. I can show you many examples on the side of Bharatiya Janata Party.
But that doesn't make it right.
Spoken many things.
We all criticize.
Have been behind the bar,
three leaders of the BJP have even been removed from their offices. They have been suspended and expelled from their parties. There are criminal cases that have been lodged against them. I'm only asking you. You come and you can say Susu wala, Susu, Susu potty wale. No, 1 second. No, 1 second. Mohammad Zishan, it can't go on like this. This is not a one-way street. Tolerance can no longer be a one-way street in this country. You can't call certain people Susu potty wale people.
Speak, Mr. Rahul.
No, I'm only asking you this question.
You cannot
listen. You can't speak on your own terms all the time, sir. I'm asking you a question.
No, can't I have the authority? Can't I have the right to ask a question to you, Rahul?
No, you're a panelist, sir. I ask the questions. You need to answer the questions.
I think this is my right.
If you want to become a journalist,
yes, sure,
please start your own outfit, start your own debate show and call me and I'll answer your question. Then I'll show you how you answer questions. But please don't become the moderator here. I'm asking you a question. No, Mohammad Zishan, I'm asking you some questions. Please answer them. I beg you. I beg you, sir. I beg you.
Okay.
We are talking about tolerance in this country.
Sure, ask. No, you don't.
The question is, is it only incumbent upon one side today to exhibit tolerance? Is it the onus of only one side? Whether it's a political outfit or it is a group in society. I want to ask you this question.
Done? Mr. Rahul, showing tolerance is not the responsibility of one and only party. It's the responsibility of each and every citizen of India. I'm speaking on that. Coming apart from political views, I'm speaking straightly to maintain and protect the Constitution of India, to protect the secularism, to protect the tolerance level. Each and everyone must be responsible. I'm just quoting one sentence of Mohan Bhagwat in 2013. He said that a husband can disown his wife if the woman refuses to do the household chores. And today is speaking about women empowerment. This hypocrisy is being seen by the 48% population of the India, which comprises of women. They know that the RSS are hypocrites, they are the misogynistic, and now they are trying to impress the women votes by speaking about women empowerment. They are speaking about oneness in culture. They are speaking about oneness in culture. Where is the culture? When they slaughtered and beaten up Tabrez Ansari for not uttering Jai Shri Ram? Where were this panelists? Where were Mohan Bhagwat?
Sir, if you are going to constantly draw an equivalence,
did he speak a single word?
Okay, 1 second. 1 second, Mr. Zishan. If you are going to continuously I can talk about, for example, in Bengal. You belong to the state of Bengal.
Begging the citizens.
No, 1 second. Don't beg here. Don't beg. No, 1 second. You are being selective in your outrage. Let me tell you. No. 1 second. Mohammad Zishan, you are being very selective in your outrage. We have Mamta Banerjee, the Chief Minister of Bengal.
I'm not selective.
No, please, I'll remind you, sir, of what you have forgotten. No, I'll remind you of what you have forgotten because I know your political inclinations. Look, you can choose to speak over me and shout over me and not correct the record here. No one will support Mohan Bhagwat when he says X or Y about women, etc., etc. No one will.
But he never
said it. Well, I'll get Ratan Chadha to set the record straight if he feels that if he has been misquoted, etc. 1 second, please, gentlemen, please. But there is a Chief Minister of Bengal. There is a Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamta Banerjee. Viewers, certain heinous crimes were committed. And Siddharth Talia is going to quickly send me those remarks. Certain heinous crimes were committed against women in Bengal. And Mamta Banerjee came out and trivialized them. Now, no one on this panel, including Mohammad Zishan, will say that that was wrong and that she should beg forgiveness. They won't. Because you see, it's inconvenient politically. Because they believe it's only, the onus is only on one side to always behave in a manner. Of course it is. But they will continually ignore. They will, 1 second, Mohammad Zishan, I will read out the statement and then I will ask you, what if it was a relative of yours who was fighting for justice and the Chief Minister of the state said what they said? And here it is, viewers. Siddharth Talia, who is Times Now's lead researcher, has sent me the statement. This is what Mamta Banerjee said about the Nadia rape in April 2022. Are you going to call it rape or pregnant or a love affair? I asked the police. It was a bad thing and an arrest has been made, but I heard there was a love affair between the boy and the girl. Was it an actual rape? Or was it an actual rape, or was she pregnant? Or was there any other reason? Or was she repeatedly slapped? Even her family members knew she was having an affair. If some boy or a girl is having an affair, how can I stop that? This is not Uttar Pradesh that I will start a love jihad program. The girl died on April 5th. The police got to know on 10th. If somebody died on the 5th and there was any ground for suspicion, any complaint, then why was not a complaint filed before the police on the 5th itself? You burnt the body. I'm speaking as a layman without knowing the full details. Where will they get the evidence? Question mark. The Chief Minister asked. This is a police investigation into a rape case. And the Chief Minister is going out there and suggesting it was something more. She's not in the investigative team, viewers. So I'm just saying, and there are many such examples. I can quote at least 4 more.
Give me
yeah, okay.
Rahul,
yes, Mr. Sinha, you wanted to make a point.
To clarify what the statement here.
Yeah, please clarify.
You know, Mamta Banerjee, when a woman was raped, the kind of statement Mamta Banerjee had given then, it was undesirable, unspeakable. I can't repeat that statement. As far Mohan Bhagwat's statement on women is concerned, he has been consistent throughout his leadership that women must be empowered. There should be gender equality. Women must be given the equal space in the public life. And the gentleman is quoting something from the TMC Research Department, which is not doing justice to the public cause.
Okay, let me quickly move on and bring in Rizwan, Syed Rizwan Ahmed one last time. Syed Rizwan Ahmed, just 1 second. Situate the context here, please. Okay, gentlemen, I've run out of time.
One sentence, just I mean. Mohan Bhagwat ji has given importance to the social initiative. This is the acknowledgement of the limits of the state power.
Okay.
He said there are many powers
Okay, 1 second. We'll have this to and fro, viewers, for the end of time. Let me quickly bring in Syed Rizwan Ahmed. Syed Rizwan Ahmed, where are we going with this? Mohan Bhagwat today says that it appears that disinformation, and I've exposed the disinformation and the way narratives are built, viewers, on this show in the last 45 minutes. So I want to ask you, Syed Rizwan Ahmed, the fundamental question. Are today a large number of Muslims victims of this narrative building, fake narrative building?
No, one of your panelists, my friend Tehseen, while quoting his respected and lovable mother, he said that mainstream Muslims are not like Tawqir. I remember this discussion was going on. So may I ask him with due respect, after Udaipur happened, was any Muslim cleric or Muslim leader able to muster not more than the least 500 Muslims only, and take out a march denouncing what happened in Udaipur? The answer is no. You can in the debate go away by saying that mainstream Muslims are not hardliners. But what we see on the ground says something different. Number two, again you quoted the 5 people who went and met Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, and I said this in the last show. These 5 people, with all the responsibility I say, acted in a very hypocrite manner. They go to Mr. Bhagwat with a bag full of complaints vis-a-vis RSS or Hindutva. Had they been honest, they should have approached Mr. Bhagwat with also another bag of the problems which this country is facing because of Islamists. And they should have gone and kept both the bags in front of Mr. Bhagwat. But they did not go with the bag with the problem which Islamists are causing. They only went with the bag which the Hindu forces are causing in this country. This shows the entire exercise was just a gimmick with bad intentions.
Well, viewers, the idea here was, and I have to wrap up, we've run out of time completely. The idea was to actually do 2 debates. This is overrun, this particular show. So we haven't been able to focus on the birth of a new national political outfit that has been launched by Mr. KCR, the Chief Minister of Telangana, today in Hyderabad. But viewers, nonetheless, the whole idea behind this debate was to bring out an uncomfortable subject, which Mr. Bhagwat has raised. Now we can criticize him, and we've had a full debate, we can accuse him of sophistry, of hypocrisy, etc. But the central message can't be forgotten, which is that when there is something wrong, then everyone must speak up in vast majorities. If you don't, you become an accomplice. I leave it at that, viewers. I leave it for you to think this through.